Hello viewers, welcome to the section Working with Kotlin in Spring. In this section we will learn about Kotlin versus Java, creating a Kotlin project in Eclipse, and creating a Spring Boot project using Kotlin. Now we move on to the video Kotlin versus Java. In this video we will learn some of the important differences with the Java language and Kotlin. Kotlin is an open-source, statically typed language that can be used to build applications that run on the JVM, Android, and JavaScript platforms. Kotlin is developed by JetBrains under the Apache 2.0 license, and the source code is available on github.com. Kotlin is one of the official languages supported by Android. The official Android developer page for Kotlin can be seen in this developer.android.com. It highlights the important reasons why Kotlin is quickly becoming popular with developers. Now we will see some of the important things about Kotlin. Complete compatibility with Java. You can call Java code from Kotlin and vice versa. Concise and readable language. Kotlin FAQ at this kotlinlanguage.org estimates a 40% reduction in the number of lines of code. Support for both functional and object-oriented programming. IntelliJ IDEA, Android Studio, Eclipse and NetBeans are the IDE that has support for Kotlin. While the support is not as good as that for Java, it is improving by the day. All major build tools, Gradle, Maven, and Ant have support for building Kotlin projects. Java was developed by James Gosling at Sun Microsystems and released in 1995. It has remained a popular language for more than 2 decades now. One of the important reasons for the popularity of Java is the Java platform, including the Java Virtual Machine. The Java platform provides security and portability for the Java language. A number of languages emerged in the last few years that aim to leverage the advantages of the Java platform. They compile to the bytecode and can run on the JVM. Kotlin aims to address some of the important issues in the Java language and provides a concise alternative. Next, we will take some of the important differences with the Java language and Kotlin. Let's open the Eclipse IDE. We have already created the Kotlin basic example project folder. Let's create a new file and name it as example.kt. KT is the file extension for the Kotlin source code. The example.kt file has now been created. We will use this file to explain some of the important differences with the Java language and Kotlin. Please note this file has been created only for understanding purposes. The first difference we will look at is variables and type inference. We will now add some lines. Kotlin infers the type of the variable from the value assigned to it. In this highlighted line, int variable is assigned a type of int. Next we will add a few more lines and explain it. Since Kotlin is type-safe, the highlighted code will result in a compilation error if uncommented. Further, we will move on to variables and immutability. Add the variable values now. Typically, like all other programming languages, the values of variables can be changed. Next, add the immutable value. However, if value is used to define a variable, then the variable is immutable. The value of the variable cannot be changed. This is similar to final variables in Java. We will now move on to type system. In Kotlin, everything is an object. There are no primitive variables. We will see some of the important numeric types: double 64-bit, float 32-bit, long 64-bit, int 32-bit, short 16-bit, byte 8-bit. We will now add varchar value in our example.kt file. Unlike Java, Kotlin does not treat characters as a numeric type. Any numeric operation on the character will result in a compilation error. Java programmers are very familiar with java.lang.nullpointerexception. Any operations performed on object variable referencing null will throw Nullpointerexception. Next, add string value and explain it. Kotlin's type system aims to eliminate Nullpointerexception. Normal variables cannot hold null. The highlighted code will not compile if uncommented. After that, we will add nullable string value. To be able to store null in a variable, a special declaration needs to be used. That is, type, followed by a question mark. For example, consider this highlighted string. Now we will add the print statement. Once a variable is declared to be nullable, only safe or non-null asserted calls are allowed. Direct references will result in compilation errors. We will move on to functions. In Kotlin, functions are declared using the fun keyword. The highlighted code shows an example. Function arguments are specified in brackets after the function name. The name is an argument of type string. The function return type is specified after the arguments. The return type of the function is string. The print line shows the invocation of the hello basic function. The next print line shows an example. Kotlin also allows named parameters. Function arguments can optionally have a default value. The highlighted lines of code illustrate the same. This highlighted print line shows the invocation of the hello with default value function without specifying any parameters. The default value of the name argument is used. The highlighted code shows that we have added a new line. If a function has just one expression, then it can be defined on a single line. The hello with one expression function is a simplified version of the hello with default value function. The return type is inferred from the value returned. Now add the print line. In this highlighted line, the functions returning void and having only one expression can also be defined on a single line. Next, we move on to arrays. Arrays are represented by a class array in Kotlin. The highlighted code shows some of the important properties and methods in the array class. By adding an int array of function, an array can be created. The highlighted block of code shows some of the important operations that can be performed on an array. Further, we will discuss the next difference, that is, collections. Add list of countries. Kotlin has simple functions to initialize collections. The value countries line of code shows an example of initializing a list. Next, add some print line. These print line statements show some of the important operations that can be performed on a list. We will now add the mutable countries list. Lists created with list of are immutable in Kotlin. To be able to change the content of a list, the mutable list of function needs to be used. Further, add character occurrences. The map of function is used to initialize a map as shown in this highlighted code. Add a print line for character occurrences. The print line shows the retrieval of a value for a specific key. Next, add a for loop where a map can be destructured into its key value constituents in a loop. We will move on to no checked exceptions. Checked exceptions in Java have to be handled or rethrown. This results in a lot of unnecessary code. The highlighted example shows the try-catch block how to handle the checked exceptions thrown by new file reader path to file, which throws file not found exception, and reader.read function throws the IO exception. Kotlin does not have any checked exceptions. It's up to the client code if they want to handle the exception. Exception handling is not forced on the client. Now we will move on to the data class. The highlighted block of code shows the declaration of a data class. Typically, we will create a number of bean classes to hold data. Kotlin introduces the concept of a data class. Next, add my address value. Kotlin provides a primary constructor, equals, hashcode, and a few other utility methods for data classes. The highlighted line of code shows the creation of an object using the constructors. Kotlin also provides a toString method by using the print line. Add my friend's address value. The copy function can be used to make a clone of an existing data class object by using these highlighted lines of code. Finally, add print line values. An object of a data class can easily be destructured. The print line makes use of string templates to print the value. In this video, we have learned about Kotlin versus Java.